red lights go out any second. Now, it's racing once again, and straight away from the lead, leaping in front is Fukutsumi. It's a strong start for Yamashita trying to warm up, but he's now on the threat for Ishihara, who's on his toes on the outside in the keeper Tsurumo Supra, and at the inside there for four, defending four, was the other car, that was the Wed Sport car Kunimoto defending Sekaguchi. Strong start also as well, it seems, from Hiramine. He's got past the Modulo Civic of Akusa. He's up there in the 6th position already, and they're troubling the bottom two Toyotas. As now we see getting back in front, we saw Sekaguchi getting past Kunimoto, and then under threat on the opening couple of corners from Akusa and Hiramine. So a strong start for Fukutsumi on the opening lap. It was initial pressure from Ishihara, troubled Yamashita off the start, but it's now the bottom two Toyotas in the top five, coming under threat from best of the rest as they charge down towards Dunlop for the first time.
Hiramine did exactly what he needed to do by clearing Okusa, and now having a look at Yuji Kunimoto on the first lap, wasting absolutely no time, Hiramine, but he can't quite get the move done. Can he get the traction exiting 11 and 12? Not quite, has to settle in behind Kunimoto, but he's clearly the cork in the bottle here. Okusa right behind. Nobuharu Matsushita up to P8, so I told you to watch out for him on the opening lap. Here comes Hiramine again, but I think he's maybe guilty of trying a little bit too hard here, but you can tell that he knows he has to clear Kunimoto as quickly as humanly possible. Sugio Matsuda there hanging on in P9 ahead of Atsushi Miyake.
That was Okusa getting a big tail slide, putting the power down that Panasonic, and that will put him under big pressure for Matsushita to come down the pit straight to end lap number one. It's also side by side between the two Nissans behind. That's the rear line Z with Vittori battling with Miyake, and that will be over 9th position. End of lap one, and it is now still
Hiramine at the inside.
Hiramine is up the inside, and also so too was Matsushita on the inside of Okusa, who's got through. And running wide there was the Toyota, and that is actually, that's the Wed Sport car that's dropped back a couple of places. So that was Kunimoto trying to hang it out, but he lost out to Okusa and Hiramine, and also now to Matsuda as well. So
lost three positions there, and look at Matsuda struggling in the other Yokohama shod car.
Try and turn more, use the tyres more. It'll help with warm-up, of course, but there's a point where, of course, you'll lose the grip as it gets even hotter. Can make it stick, he's going for it. Up the inside he goes into Panasonic. Nice and clean, that's the strategy. Get it done before you even turn onto the straight. Kind of gives him a little taste of his own medicine there. Didn't shove him out wide, but gave just enough to go to the edge and say, look, that was a couple of laps ago. You showed me just enough room this time. I'm showing you just about the same back onto the pit straight.
Well, I think Nattori knew he had to do something different if he attempted the around the outside at turn one again. It probably wasn't going to work, and now it's roles reversed. Nattori on the inside, but he can do to Kunimoto what Kunimoto did to him before. And it looked like the Nissan actually was not too bad in a straight line there. That's more like it, says Matsuda, Machi-san.
And now he's got these three Civics and Shio in the Nissan going through. There goes, in fact, round the outside the Astamo Civic down towards Dunlop corner, down the outside, and the carbon copy what happened to Alesi. And again, Kunimoto putting up no fight whatsoever into that braking zone. Either he realised he knows his tyres are done, or he's just trying to hang on and survive and preserve them if he's taking too much of them at all. But he really is slipping down the order. He will be last.
He's got absolutely no grip at all. You can see there goes Katsumasa Chiyo, and I think the other two Hondas are going to be by pretty quickly as well. By the way, 5-second time penalty for Kodai Tsukukoshi as Yamamoto makes the move on Kunimoto. 5-second penalty for Tsukukoshi, and that was for some kind of contact with the 23 Nissan. I don't think we saw this. Again, I think this is what happened at turn one on the first lap. And so we saw a couple of 5-second penalties being dished out yesterday as Kunimoto using the straight line speed of that Supra. The tyres might be shot, but the engine still works, it seems. But I think Yamamoto's still going to have the advantage for this first corner as they go side by side, beginning of lap 12. There goes Yamamoto.
Here we go. This is what happened then. So watch for the Astamo Civic, and there it is.
The contact, I
tap in the back. It's the lightest of touches, but it's enough to warrant a penalty. So
that's a bit harsh.
This is for P6. Tori's having a whale of a time here and closing in on position. Got support, if you like, in a way, from the number 3 Tsushi Miyake Terra Z behind, the best of the works cars in the field. Spark coming up as these cars run so close to the ground through 100R. It's the hairpin, where it seems as though, I think, handling-wise, the Nissan seems to be a little more friendlier in the slower corners, it seems. In the tight and twisty sections, that's where the Tory's gained quite a lot of ground, and particularly quite good under braking also. To the complex at Dunlop, still with Miyake in close attention in 8th place. Again, Nattori having a fantastic run here and certainly putting Matsushita under plenty of pressure to depose the leading Honda from P6, and I'm sure he must be after a bonus if he gets close. Again, look, tighter run. He loves that tighter run through the corner, so the Nissan must be much better in the slower, tighter corners, but loses a bit of traction and torque off the punch of the corner, so he can get back in the slipstream and get back close to make an attack by the end of the straight. In fact, there he is, side by side. He must have done the up and under at the final corner. Now it's side by side, and Nattori will get the side draft here. He's almost into the side of Matsushita, moves out wide. It's a drag race down to the 1.5 kilometre pit straight, and just with a bit of better straight line speed. Gets himself in front, moves across. Matsushita comes back at him down towards turn 1. Last of the late breakers, locks up into turn 1, looks to the switch back, and there's Miyake's trying to take advantage. And Tori comes through. Thank you very much. And that is P6 for the Tori as he continues to bring the realised Z further up the field into P6. His next target to break into the top 5. Miyake was close this time last lap. He's going to be lining up Tori down the straight. Where's he going to go? He's going to look to the inside initially, forced to the outside line. Tori defends. Alesi watches on in the background, side by side again, wheel to wheel under brakes. Tori brakes later and again holds the place. No switch back for Miyake this time. He thinks about it, puts two wheels onto the grass. He's pushing hard to try and make it happen. Down the outside in towards turn 3. Tori says, I don't think so. Lacey's there watching and waiting for the opportunity. He thinks, just you keep scrapping, you two, because if I get in the mix, I can take 2 free places. I'll be up to P6, more valuable points for the championship. Usually some cars, they get a good run up the hill out of turn 12. They can attack into 13 and 14. As she continues. How good the straight line to be, at least the initial straight line punch off the corner with the torque from that Toyota engine is pretty good. Pretty much contented with each other, and I wonder if maybe, I wouldn't say tyres are completely going now, but the Tori possibly more holding on than setting the pace of these three. And again now for the 3rd time, so Miyake locked into the slipstream, and will he decide to go side by side this time? Of course, both Nissans as aerodynamically efficient as each other, but in the tow, Miyake has an advantage. This time, where does he go? He goes to outside this time. Once more, Nattori defends. There will it go be a last and late breakers, deeper run into turn 1. Nattori gives him the squeeze. Done it before, haven't we? But this time, it might make it different. This time, Miyake gets a better punch off the corner. For this occasion, back to side by side. Now, can he turn across into turn 3 before Nattori gets to the apex? They turn left into the left-handed corner for turn 3. They're side by side, force him out wide onto the tarmac. Gets back onto the road. Back up the inside again. Nattori closes the door. And here comes Giuliano Alesi for position. He said he was waiting for an opportunity.
I wonder if Nattori's going to be in trouble with the stewards there, because he did to Miyake exactly what Fenestraz did to Sasaki yesterday, kept the position, and now we have Giuliano Alesi. He senses his opportunity. He's got a chance now into turn 10. Miyake defends. Alesi to the outside. Can he get the move done? He's just run out of space. He was given no space at all there, and he's forced to the escape road, and he's lost so much time there. Sasahara. Well, Alesi didn't lose any positions there, because I think he's still ahead of Matsushita, but he's now all of a sudden way behind the 2 cars that he was battling. That did not work out at all well for the number 37 Tom's Toyota.
This is the view from Alesi here. So you see down the outside went Miyake, and here's the view. Yeah, he does kind of give him no choice but to go onto the runoff area.
I mean, if we're talking about consistency of the stewards, then you've got to look at the penalty they gave Fenestraz yesterday. Now, I would say, from a completely personal point of view, and sure enough, it's under investigation, confirmation on the time screens. Okusa now side by side with Matsushita at the same corner, and that is a change of position for 9th place. So well done, Ricky Okusa, in the battle to be the top Honda. He's got the upper hand now. You can see the gap on your screen there is around about 9.5 seconds. So actually, regardless, unless Miyake gets the move done now and starts making some proper progress towards Hiramine, as Nattori defends, and I think he's going to hang on to the position for the time being, as Miyake gets a good exit there, but again he's going to be on the wrong side of the road. And that's going to have sapped his momentum there, clipping the grass. Nattori's got the inside line, should help the position. He does, but Hiramine now all of a sudden looks like he's gone from P8 to P5, which is obviously he's been P5 all the time on the road, but if you consider his 10-second penalty for the earlier incident with Kunimoto, it looks like he might actually be able to finish P5 on the road as well.
It was initially better for Yamashita, but I don't think he's going to make it stick this time. Into Panasonic for the final time. A small lunge from Yamashita. You might be close for a drag race to a line, but it might be too late. So we've had a keeper win, we've had two Toms wins, and now we're going to get a victory for the first time this season for Rookie Racing. A brilliant light supply victory for pole position in the second race of the weekend for Nure Fukutsumi. A win all the way through at the front, no challenge at all, and it's going to be victory for them in the end.